So hi guys, welcome back to my channel Q Warrior, and here we only discuss the interview questions that is asked in the testing interviews. And if you are new to this channel, so it's very important to subscribe and also press the bell icon to get notification about this channel. And today we are going to see another important topic, and it's very important to watch this video till end. So let's begin. So today's topic is requirement module in HPALM. Requirement Defining the requirement is one of the important phases for software development lifecycle. I have also created a video for SDLC and STLC where you have seen phases like requirement gathering. Okay, so defining requirement refers to what has to be delivered to the client at the end of that specific release, and requirement establishes the clarity that would result in minimum rework after the development is completed. For example, if my requirement is to develop a smartphone with 2 GB RAM and 32 GB of internal memory, but in the requirement I have not clearly specified how much memory I require, internal as well as external. So developer, he will develop the mobile as per his understanding or as per his convenience. But my requirement was to develop a mobile with 2 GB RAM and 32 GB internal memory. So the clarity in requirement is very important while the development is about to start. Okay, and the requirement module in ALM enable user to define, manage and track requirements. Okay, let's see that when we talk about the HPALM workflow, so requirement is the second phase, and today we are only focusing on the requirement specification. We already have the video on test planning and test execution. Okay, now let's see how we can create the requirement in HPLM. So first what you have to do, you have to come here inside the requirement and click on the requirements. Then what you have to do, that you have to create a separate folder for functional as well as for non-functional requirements. So for example, you can see here, to maintain all the requirement for a particular release, we can name the folder with the name of the release. Also, to show the distinction between the functional and non-functional requirement by placing them in the different folders. Okay, now what we have done, we have first created the folder with the name of the release. Okay, now once you have created the folder with the name of the release, it will be shown something like this under the requirements tab. Now inside the same release tab, create a folder with the name functional for the functional requirements and non-functional with the non-functional requirements. Now you can see here that once you will click on the new folder name, a new requirement folder pop-up will appear where you have to type the name of the requirement. It's not like that you have to type only functional. You can name anything as per your convenience or as per your company policy. Now once you have created the functional requirement folder, it will appear just below the release folder. Okay, now once you have created both the folder, means the requirement for both functional and non-functional, it will appear under the release folder something like this. So for creating the functional folder, you have to select the release folder, then click on the create new requirement folder, then only it will fall under the release tab. Now again, if you have to create the non-functional requirement, you have to select again the release folder and then click on the create new folder, then only it will come under the release folder. So now you can see here that we have the folder for both functional and non-functional folder here inside the release. Also, this was the process that you only created the folder. Now how to create the requirement inside this folder? So for example, if there is any requirement related to functional side, you will create it under the functional folder. If any requirement that is related to some performance or security, you will create under the non-functional folder. So now what you have to do, you have to click here on the new requirement icon in the requirement page. Once you have clicked here, the new requirement dialog box will open and user has to enter the following mandatory fields. Let's see. This is the new requirement dialog box where the mandatory field is that you have to select the name. You have to mention the name of the requirement. What is the purpose for creating this requirement? Okay. Now second thing is that you have to select the requirement type. So requirement type can be functional. Okay. Now you can see here that the author will always be populated automatically. Then you have to select the priority. What is the priority of this requirement? Whether it is high, medium, low, reviewed, not reviewed. It will always be by default as not reviewed. For target release, you have to select the release for which you are creating this particular requirement. Target cycle. So under the release, cycle is created, which we'll see in another video how to deal with release and cycle. So inside this release, in which cycle you are creating this requirement, so you have to mention that product for which application you are creating this requirement. This creation time and creation date will be automatically populated, and also this direct cover status, it will be as not covered. Okay. Also you can give the description of this requirement here. Okay. Now user can also enter the following non-mandatory fields like author, priority, reviewed, target release, target cycle, description and comments. Okay. Now also there is a attachment button inside the requirement where you can attach the BRD or the requirement that you receive from the client or the business. This will help other team members who is working in your team. They can open the BRD and the requirement and they can understand the requirement and can develop the test cases on the basis of the on the basis of the understanding they get from this particular document. Once you have attached this requirement, you can click on the submit button. This requirement will be created. Okay. Now you can see here that the requirement is created here. Once the requirement is created, you have created the functional requirement under this folder. That's the reason you are seeing this requirement here on this folder. Okay. If you have selected this folder and created this requirement under this, then you could have seen the same requirement under this folder. Also this requirement ID is a unique ID which you will see for all the requirements that you will create. Once you will click on the requirement ID, you will be inside this requirement. You will see all the requirement details, attachments, everything, any defects that is attached to this requirement, everything you will be able to see by hitting the requirement ID. And you can see here it is showing as not covered. Why it is showing as not covered? Because currently there is no test cases mapped to it. We will see how to map the test cases to the requirement. Now to mapping the test cases to the requirement, what you have to do, you have to go to the test plan where you will see a requirement coverage tab. Okay. This will help you to map the test cases against the particular requirement. Okay. For this, what you have to do, you have to click on the requirement coverage tab, select the requirement which should be mapped against that particular test case, and then click on the arrow button. So this will help you to map the test cases against the particular requirement. You can see here inside the test lab, you will find first you have to select a particular test case, then you have to come to this requirement coverage tab. Once you are in this requirement coverage tab, you have to click here Once you will click here, you will see all the folders related to the requirement coming under this functional and non-functional folder. So what you have to do, you have to select a particular requirement which is related to this particular test case, or for this particular requirement you have written this particular test case. So what you have to do, you just have to select the particular requirement and click on the arrow button. So this test case will be mapped to this particular requirement. Okay, this is how you have to, if for example there are multiple test cases for this particular requirement, so you can do it similar way. Okay, also in the summary, let's see that requirement module in Quality Center is used to store your test requirements. On the basis these stored requirements, you will build your test cases. Okay, each requirement is assigned a unique ID for identification, which you saw that it was requirement ID. On clicking on the requirement ID, you will be taken to the requirement detail section, where you will see all the details related to the requirement, for which release it is created, for which cycle it is created, the description of the requirement, the attachment, the BRD, and the requirement document that is provided by the client. Everything you can see after going inside the requirement, and also the test cases that are mapped to the requirement you can see by hitting the requirement ID. So that's all in this video, and we will see most interesting and important topics in the upcoming videos. So please subscribe to my channel, like the videos, and also comment down on the video if you have any queries. Thank you for watching.